Alright, welcome everyone to the character build video that I promised that I was going to be doing for my SMG run and gun crit build. I'm going to be really casual about the way I do these videos. I really want to get into talking about what's going on and explaining things. I don't want to just throw stats out there and tell you what gear I've got and then don't even get into a conversation. I really want this to be a conversational type environment where we're all communicating back and forth. People are throwing me ideas in the comments. I'm throwing them back stuff in the comments. Other people that are watching the video are throwing back and forth between other people watching the video. Comments and stuff, and have an open discussion. And I want you guys to kind of really listen to and hear my voice talking and my emotions about my decision making, about what it is I'm trying to do with my builds. They may be a little long, but I promise there's going to be good content. We're going to be talking about a lot of things about how the game works. You know, we may be wrong about some things early on, but that'll be okay. At least you know that I'm not just throwing you stuff and saying this is 100% the best way to go do this. Like, I see a lot of people posting YouTube videos and they're like, this is 100% the absolute best solo build in the game, and I'm just like, whatever, dude. It's like we're nowhere. Nobody in this game is anywhere close to end game. There is no such thing as the best build yet. There's no such thing. You can just have really good builds. And that's what I think I have here is an exceptional dark zone grinding build. So I'm gonna preface and let you guys know I've pretty much got there's three things we do in the game, right? We PvP, we grind the dark zone by killing enemies and running around and getting XP and leveling up a character, and we run challenge missions over and over to get Phoenix credits. Those are the three things that you do in this game once you start getting leveled up a little bit, right? Okay. This build is a dark zone grind build first and last, okay? It is exceptional at grinding in the dark zone, okay? And I've got the video up here from that I uploaded recently, the SMG run and gun crit build. You can kind of see that off to the left. Like I said, these are going to be really casual. I'm going to be showing some things in that video that I uploaded. If you didn't see that video, I'll leave a link in the description. You can go back and watch that. It's like a little 6 or 7 minute video of me just running around killing stuff. Another thing I should say, it's really difficult to know exactly what's good and what's bad, because you can go watch someone's video and you can be like, you can see them doing almost no damage, but they actually may have a great build because their gear may suck, right? It all depends on how far along you are in the game. Just because your build isn't doing something specific at the time, it could be exceptional given what you have to work with at the time, right? And that's how the game works. So the idea that anyone's at in-game, or the idea that anyone has no one in this game, I refuse to believe that anyone in this game has an actual min-max build. There's no way that anyone has been able to get every single detailed thing about their character completely perfect yet, because no one's had enough time. It'll take millions and millions of stuff to get every single little bitty thing that you want exactly the way you want it to completely. And not only that, but just understanding the game in depthly enough to be able to actually make a min-max build. So the only thing we're doing right now are starter builds. These are like the builds that these are what we can do right now, the best I can do with my character right now, right? So I will say that this build is not a PvP build. If I had to rank it from bad to awesome, it's bad for PvP. So if you are looking to go out and shoot people, you do not want to do it with this build. I'll be doing PvP builds in the future. This is not it. This is a DZ grind build. Yes, I've played and fought some players. It does pretty well. But it does nowhere near as good as it does for grinding and killing elites, okay? As far as challenge missions goes, it's pretty good. It's pretty good right now, but once it gets stronger, it could be exceptional. I've really tried to push the extent of it, where I literally am running through challenging missions, trying to run through challenge missions the way I ran through the Dark Zone with this, but first and foremost, it's a Dark Zone grinding build, and I leveled all the way from 26 to 44 with it in like 6 hours. One of my teammates was level 40 when I was level 39, and I was at 44 before he was at 41. So if that gives you an idea of the kind of damage and the amount of XP that I'm pulling. And so let's talk about the goals of exactly what it is that we're doing here. So in this game, we're essentially doing what I'm doing in this video right here. I'm running around killing NPCs, especially elites, trying to get XP gains, trying to get rare drops, and doing the same thing everybody else is doing. So that is exactly, if we're going to make a DZ grind build, we need to maximize these things, to maximize our ability to run around and get XP, get better drops, and do that stuff as fast as possible. Now, there's multiple ways to do this, okay? I uploaded a video recently, and I've seen some people saying, just stack it all into scavenging. Stack it all into scavenging. Stack it all into kill XP. That's not how, that can't be it. Mathematically, it says that that is not the best way to go about it. It has to be some kind of combination of the two, okay? So, for instance, let's say we have a scavenger build, and we increase our scavenging by 200%. Let's, by 100%. We have 100% scavenging. But you could have way higher than that. But let's just say we have 100% just to make a point. And we'll use fake numbers. So if we increase our drop rate, let's say we get drop rates of golds 1 out of 10 times we kill a named enemy. And let's say we're killing 10 named enemies per hour. So we're getting 1 gold per hour. Once we increase our scavenging to 100, let's say that it actually works that way, and nobody really knows for sure, but let's say it actually increases your drop rate by 100%. So now you're getting 2 per hour, right? Okay. But a player could have 0% in scavenging, and he could have a better build as far as damaging and killing stuff, and be running around, and he could be killing 20 named enemies an hour instead of 10. And because he's doing that, he's getting 2 drops too. So that tells you right there, to maximize this thing, you need a little bit of both. You need to be able to move as fast as you possibly can, kill things as fast as you possibly can, and at the same time increase your drop rates and increase the experience you're getting. That way, you're a little bit of both. You're getting some bonuses from each one, right? Who knows which way is the best way to go, but in my opinion, I think what I'm doing is about as good as it gets. I haven't seen anybody level up as fast as I'm leveling right now. I know there's some people out there that have a higher level than I do, but I mean, I've seen some guys that were like level 50 something, and I was like level 20, and I caught those people. If that gives you an idea. And I'm in group with guys, and I'm playing with guys, and I see how fast I'm grinding and leveling with this build. Okay? So what are our goals? Obviously, our goals are increase our XP, increase our higher end drops, and increase the amount of these per hour. Okay? And so the key factors to being able to do that are, number one, we have to stay alive. That's another factor, right? Like, we have to stay alive. We have to have survivability. Our character just can't go out here and get killed every 5 minutes. If we did, we'd lose so much XP that we'd be going backwards. So you got to have survivability. So we want to maximize our DPS while keeping our survivability high, and also keep those the XP rolling in at a high level and increasing our drop rates, right? So what it is we're doing is, Yalas or not Yalas, but purples are not very difficult to kill when we're grinding, right? So we're running around in circles, and we're running up, and you see these purple guys I'm killing. They're not hard to kill at all. We very rarely die to purples. We can handle entire mobs of them. But the Yala guys are a whole nother topic, right? Like, they can really slow our grind down. They drop the best gear, and they give a little bit higher XP. But at the end of the day, they're what's slowing our grind down. So the purples aren't what you need to be focused on. You need to be focused on doing damage to elites and hurting those guys. So what is the main thing with doing damage to elites? Their armor. Their armor is almost their entire health. Once you get their armor down, the health goes down in a heartbeat, right? You've seen it 100 times. If you look at the video right now, that was a boss I just shot from that far away and just creamed him in just a couple shots with this SMG. Look at the numbers I'm pulling on this guy's head. With this low, I mean, I don't have great gear on this character. The gear I have now, 47,000, 50,000. Look at these Yalas. Look how fast they're going down. And I don't even have one of my armor bonuses on right now. So we want to focus on getting these Yala guys down as fast as possible and being able to survive and do that at the same time, right? Do all this stuff at the same time. So let me go into my character, and I'll talk about some of the things that I've stacked real quick. Number one, I'm running with an SMG. Why am I running with an SMG? I recommend that you run with an SMG because of what I just showed you in this video right here. You are able to run up to the face, right into the face of these dudes. If you have enough survivability, you can run right into the face of these guys, just like I'm doing this guy in the video right now. Look how close I am to him, okay? This is maximizing our range, okay? Like, because we can get so close to them, we can run an SMG, and we don't have to engage them at a long distance. So there's no point in running an assault rifle when you're grinding, in my opinion, outside of the situations where you have to have a secondary weapon. So I have an assault rifle as a secondary, but I almost never use it. Okay, So, but we can get up close to targets, so we can run an SMG, and we're always in our maximum range for our damage, which is 27 meters. We're almost always within 27 meters, so we're getting our maximum range distance DPS going, right? So that's why I recommend running an SMG. So my strategy is to get enough survivability and enough damage to run straight up to these guys and get as many headshots as possible. It's all about maximizing my headshots. That's why you'll see me getting really close to dudes. Like, you see me rushing. Look, I just keep trying to get closer and closer to guys. Closer and closer to guys. Look at my health. My health hardly is moving. It's like, and if it starts going down, notice it starts going back up. That's because everything I've done with this build is to increase my ability to get into the face of multiple enemies, stand in the face of multiple enemies, deliver massive amounts of headshots because it's so easy to hit them from so close, and be able to survive the massive amount of damage that I'm taking by killing them, and through some other means that I'm going to talk about in a minute. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. It's all about running as fast as I possibly can, getting in their face, putting my gun to their forehead, and making sure every single shot that I can get is a headshot. That's what I want, okay? So let's go into my character screen, and we'll talk about some of the ways that I'm doing this stuff, and we'll look at some of the numbers behind what's going on. So currently I have, and forget these numbers up here because they get bugged out. Currently I have 3,161 firearms. It's a little higher. Right now I'm hitting about 150, 160,000 point headshots against elites buffed. Okay? Non-buffed, 70, 80,000 crits, and then some lower end crits are like 40,000. My low crits are 40K, guys. Like, that's pretty good. All right? That's my average. That's like the bottom end of my crit range pretty much against elites. A key point. Actually, I kill purples almost the same way I kill elites. It's almost the same because I have so much stuff stacked into killing elites, okay? Electronics and stuff. I don't have as much in electronics. 59,000 health is a lot right now, but I have to have 1,888, and I'll show you why in a minute, but 59,000 health is a lot more than I had in the video. I've only got 49,000 health in this video, guys. 49,000 health. Watch it. Look, you guys have played this area. That's a lot of people that I'm dealing with right there. There's a lot of damage coming in. Do you know how much damage I just took to get back to that cover? Like, I was getting crushed before I come up with this build for that stuff. So much damage I'm taking with this build. Okay, with just 49,000 health. Now I have 59,000 health. Let's go on down to the more important stuff, and this is where the build. This is the numbers behind the build. Weapon damage 7880. Let's ignore that number. It's not really that important right now. But notice it says damage at optimal range. Okay, that's what I was talking about earlier. We want to keep inside the optimal range area. Critical hit chance 42.5%. 42.5% unbuffed, and we'll talk about that number when I start talking about my skills and the buffs that I'm running. Critical hit damage 141% critical hit damage right now. Headshot damage 138%. Accuracy 62, not all that important. Range 27 meters, not all that important for what I'm doing. Reload bonus would be nice to add some of that there. I definitely think that's something I can improve on. SMG damage bonus is something I definitely need to try to get in there. So get into combat. Damage versus elites, 31% increased damage versus elites, plus I got a little bit more to go with that. I'll show you in a minute. Regain a percentage of your max health whenever you kill an enemy. I'm getting 11% back for every enemy I killed. So, go back to the video real quick and you'll see some of that in action. Notice my health. That's why my health starts going up. Look how low my health. My health's getting really low. I chunk these two dudes right here in the head. I turn around, look how low my health is. Watch my health. My health starts gaining. Like it's gaining, and then I get down. Watch out. Look at the big chunk of health that starts coming in. I'm getting beat with a baseball bat, so all the damage that I'm taking there is fighting. So I'm getting that 20. So I killed those two guys. There's 22% of my health is coming back to me. It's coming back into me, and I'm taking all this damage, and that's why my health is just sitting there fighting with itself. But it relies on me being able to kill things really fast. If you get into a situation where you can't kill things really fast, you get really squishy really quick with this build. This build completely relies on killing things as fast as you possibly can. Okay? We have a 0% increased threat. We don't want that. Enemy armor damage. And we got 17% increased damage done to enemy armor, which is what I was saying. We got to get the elite armor down. We got to get. You want to stack some points into elite armor. So, like I said, once again to remind everybody, armor damage, damage versus elite, headshot damage, and crit chance. Right? That's what we're going for. We're going for getting in the face of our enemy, shooting them in the head, getting damage bonuses for headshot shooting them in the head, getting damage bonuses for our high crit rate and our high crit damage, stacking on top of our SMG passives, which I'll talk about in a second, and increasing our damage versus elites on top of that. And so we're hitting an elite in the head with crits, and all of our damages are stacking on top of each other, and we're using some different ways to do that and to stay alive. All right. Skill power improves your skills. My skill power is 15,000. We'll get into that in a minute. 6% skill haste, so that's increasing your how fast your skills recharge, which are important to this build also. Health regeneration 2,900. I'm right now mitigating 47% weapon damage through 3383 armor. That's one of those numbers that it's automatically going to go up. Here's another one. Protection from elites. We have to stay alive. Like I said, staying alive is important, so I've got 14% increased protection from elites, so that's essentially a 14% damage reduction from elites. And I'll talk about that more in a minute because I'm stacking damage reduction things in this too. Bleed resistance at 50%. Burn resistance, I'd like to get a little bit higher. Maybe lose this bleed and get a higher burn resistance to withstand more of that flame. But one of the things I rolled to get burn resistance. One of the reasons I wanted burn resistance because when I get in the face of those flame guys, I need to get in their face. I have to kill things fast. So I need to get some more reduced damage from those flamethrowers, okay? And those fire grenades. Boy, those things are rough, right? Disrupt resistance is really important too. This keeps me from being able to be thrown off balance and get knocked back. You know how that shit happens when you're getting shot and like things, you get interrupted, right? Like I think that's how this skill works. How high resistance of disruption you have. So I'm assuming it keeps you from being disrupted, okay? Exploration. Getting back to looting, right? Getting back to looting and leveling. Increase XP per kill. And this stat affects your dark zone directly. Almost all of our XP comes from the dark zone, killing people, and so this increased XP thing counts in the dark zone. Okay. Scavenging at 116%, and reward credits increases the amount of credits dropped by 35%, and I'll talk about that when I get to my gear, and you'll see that. So you'll see it's exactly what I said it was. We've got a build that is focused on doing damage up close and personal in the face, damage against elites, damage against enemy elite armor, and getting our high-end loot and high XP, right? Okay, so let's go over and look at the gear and the abilities and see how we're getting some of this stuff done. So let's go in here and we'll start with my skills. And these are the 3 skills I'm running. I am running base pulse. What's the name of this one? It's this one with the broken heart. Sends out a recon pulse that marks hostiles and allies through walls and covers. And okay, here we go. Tactical scanner. There it is. I thought I clicked it. Damage is increased when attacking any hostile targets identified by the pulse. So obviously more, once again, about increasing our damage. So what are we getting from pulse? Everyone pretty much knows because a lot of people run it. Duration is 27 seconds. Range 60 meters, so we can hit people with it a long time before we get there. We get another 20% in buff on our crit chance. So that puts us up to almost 65% crit chance. We were at 42.5, and this is another 19.5, so we're at about 63-64% crit chance when I pop this. Critical hit damage, another 47% critical hit damage, right? And then the cooldown right now is 59 seconds on that, and that's why one of the reasons this is so we can dramatically improve our damage output by reducing our cooldown on this, and that's why I'm running skill haste. And actually, I thought this number was like 51%, but we can get our skill haste up, and we can get bonuses for getting our skills back, right? And so I think that's important that we can actually improve our damage through our skills, right? And that's one of the reasons that you'll see that I'm running a thing that increases my skill power. Support station. I'm running this version of the support station with the ammo. And let me see if I can find an example of that in the video right quick, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about with that. You'll notice in the video that I run out in the road, and I'll throw down, when I run into a building or whatever, you'll see it up here, right here. You'll notice when I come up to an area like this, I throw out my med pack. All right, so I'm throwing out my med pack, yes, of course, to get heals, but the main reason I'm throwing out my med pack is because I'm running the one with the ammo on it, right? Because I don't want to switch guns. I'll show you why I don't want to switch guns in a minute. I want to make sure I have my SMG out And that gun is the key to this entire build. While close to the device, allies regain their ammo as they reload. So if I have 0 ammo and I reload, it gives me a clip. I fire a clip and reload, it gives me ammo. It puts me a full clip. Fire my gun empty again, put another clip in. Infinite ammo. Standing as long as you're near this thing or in it. And so I pretty much throw it towards my targets, run into it, and then I start headshotting everybody and standing in there, and I'm getting full ammo back, and I have a heal dot going on. So I got heals coming in as a dot, right? And that works great. Tactical Link is my signature skill, increased damage and critical hit chance to the user and all nearby allies. So another 20% hit chance and another 50% increased damage buff. And the duration on this is only 12 seconds, but I use this in situations where I really want to just rip things apart. When I pop this and when I'm buffed up, that's when I'm pulling 160,000 point crits. Is because I'm popping this and Pulse at the same time, and I'm in the face of these things. All headshots right to the head, all crit damage, all 65%. When I pop this, I'm at almost 80 or almost 100% crit damage. Almost 100% crit chance and almost 225% damage, crit damage increased. Like, that gives you an idea of just how stacked up I have all the stuff. Alright, so those are the abilities. Another important part of this is my talents. Use a med kit. I use a ton of med kits, tons of med kits, because I'm taking so much damage. Use a med kit when not at full health to receive an overheal. So I get an overheal from using my med kit. Use a med kit during low health, which happens to me a lot, to increase my damage resistance by 40% for 10 seconds. And now I got another thing that is also buffing me for incoming damage, right? Killing a hostile. So once again, killing stuff and being able to move and reducing my damage. So you're starting to see why I'm able to run into entire groups of dudes and survive it. If you notice in the video, I'm taking so much damage, but every time I kill something and I'm moving, I'm always moving, I'm getting a 30% damage reduction, 30% incoming damage reduction. And this thing is key to this build. 30% increased damage reduction for killing things while moving. I'm killing things extremely fast, and I'm getting a 30% damage reduction every single time I kill something. And that just keeps stacking and moving. And another thing is when you're playing in a group and my teammates are shooting dudes that I'm shooting, and then I move to the next target, I'm just constantly 30% damage reduction, 30% damage reduction, 30% damage reduction. I'll just have, it's essentially giving me 30% more HP than I have. So if you're going to run and gun and grind, this is exactly what you want. And then obviously I'm focused on headshots, so I'm using precision. Headshot a hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds. So that now not only am I pulsing normally, but I'm also pulsing these dudes just because I'm hitting them in the head. And headshots are all that I'm hitting almost, right? And so you see how these things are all going. Low health, it's all about survivability and increasing damage here with my a lot of survivability in here, right? Reduce damage, overheals, low health, active skill cooldowns. Yeah, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns is one of the other ones. So I'm low health and I start building up my skills to increase my damage and get my stuff going again because my stuff's low. So let's get in and look at the gear real quick and go over to the Vector. And like I said, I had 9,500 damage. This gun is epic, guys. Look at these three things right here are what you want on a grind build. Headshot damage is increased by 24% when using this weapon. 24% increased headshot damage with this gun. All I got to do is have 2,300 firearms to get that active. Here we go again. Armor destruction value is increased by 18% when using this weapon. So there's another 18% on top of the 17% that was showing up in my stats. These stats don't show up. That's another 24% headshot damage on top of the headshot damage that I had over there in my stats. Damage against elites and named enemies, just a base 13%. Every time I'm hitting a damaged elite enemy, another 13% damage. And now you're going to start seeing from my accessories and my gear where some of this other stuff coming. But this gun is epic. Like, this is why I run the ammo perk, because I don't want to not use this gun. This gun is the thing that really puts everything on it, stacks on top of everything I've got. So I want to keep this gun out and keep it running the entire time. Another important part is the SMG. If you don't know, 25.5% critical hit chance, which obviously is another part of our build, a huge focus of getting those crit crits. And now you'll start seeing where some of these numbers are coming from. 90% increased magazine size. There's 36% critical hit chance, 6% critical hit chance, 17% headshot damage, 30% critical hit damage, reduced threat. I threw that in there. Obviously, I don't want to have a lot of threat because I don't want all the NPCs targeting me all at once. I need to kill them as fast as possible, but I don't want everybody shooting at me. I'm tanky, but I'm not a true tank. 18.5% accuracy, 37% horizontal ability, and I'm playing somebody else's YouTube video. Let's go back to mine, please, and pull it back up so I can have it if I need another thing here. So go back and let's get back on my gear. This is a great vest. I actually got this to drop. Grants an overheal to all healing skills. So once again, more healing. 9% protection from elite. 442 armor, keeping my survivability up. 7% damage to elites. 22% increased kill XP. 8% pulse duration. Every single thing on this gear piece goes right into my build. Some things I don't have perfect yet. Obviously, I said that was almost impossible at this point. 2% heal every second during status effects. I get hit with a lot of status effects, so this is actually a good thing for this build too. The rehabilitated perk, another dot heal coming on to me as I'm attacking and fighting stuff. Major attributes, skill power. This is almost a 50% increased skill power for me. My base skill power is only 10,000 or something. With this on, my numbers up here aren't right yet. You know how this game is. If I back out, this number goes to 15,000. It goes to 15,000 because of this attribute right here. That's a 50% increase to my skill power. That's a huge difference. It increases my damage, increases my ability to survive. 11% burn resistance to take care of some of that fire stuff. Here's a stat that I'm not really using that I wish I could re-roll. And here you can see my stamina mod for this one. I'm running the stamina mod because I need to get to 1888 stamina. Again, these numbers up here aren't correct right now. 1888 stamina to make this perk over here on this gun requires an 1888 stamina, as you can see right here, requirement. So I'm having to run some stam mods to get there, but that's such an important thing. Like, I could run more damage, but you can see this is such an important stat for me to have on here. Let me find it right quick. 18%. It's essentially reducing their armor by 18%, and Elite's armor is all about that. So I can increase my damage, and I probably can't get an 18% increased damage, and that is almost all of the health of these Elites that we're fighting. So that's a really important thing to be able to get that up. So I'm running skill power on the stamina mod on that one. You get over here, item find. Once again, a loot. Item find and credit find bonuses are increased by 25%. That's a great one. 5% protection from elites. 41% increased kill XP. This represents the scavenging. Again, 1.5% critical hit chance. Once again, stacking on some of my more stuff with my stamina mod. 5% protection from elite. Oh no, I already did this one. Sorry. Click on this one. Increase skill power by 13%. Once again, beefing up that skill power, trying to get it better because my base number is so low, and doing that through some odd ways with my gear and stuff. 15% critical hit damage, 50% bleed resistance, secret mine bonus. I do have an 8% support station heal. All this stuff I've kind of talked about. Skill haste, and once again getting that skill to recharge faster because my base number is so low. Headshots with the sidearm deal more damage. Oh no, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. After reloading, the next shot with this weapon has a 9% higher critical chance. That's called cunning. You could do that with a number of you could put that on a couple of these, and you could have, after a reload for a sniper rifle, you could have some major numbers coming out. But that's actually not a bad one because I'm hitting people for so much that a 9% increase higher critical hit chance on a reload. If I'm reloading on a dude, that usually means that I just fired a bunch into him. It's probably an elite named. So that means that my next bullet that comes out, I may hit him for an extra 10% on 150,000 hit. So we're talking an extra 15,000 damage on one bullet. That's a large number. It actually don't seem like much, but it really is. 33% critical hit damage, 11% damage to elites, 11% health on kill. Once again, I talked about that. As I'm killing stuff, you can see that I'm getting health back every time I kill stuff. So I've covered that. 8% increased pulse critical hit damage. Once again, stacking on that pulse. Damage taking during cover to cover is regenerated over 5 seconds when reaching the destination. It's not the one that I wanted the most, but it's actually not that bad of a thing, even though I'm not using very much cover to cover. If I am using cover to cover, it means I'm in trouble. If I'm not running down the street gun-ho, it means I'm in trouble or I'm in a bad situation. So the fact that I can use a cover-to-cover move and be guaranteed, essentially, this is 100% damage reduction that you get with this talent. Damage taken during cover-to-cover is regenerated over 5 seconds when reaching the destination. If you don't die from the point you cover-to-cover, then that means that you get all of it back. So it's 100% damage reduction as long as you can live through it. Once again, 8.5% increased first aid ally heal, helping my teammates out there a little bit. 1 mod slot, 120 stamina increase, another skill haste mod to boot. And that's pretty much the gist of like where all these numbers that I have are coming from. And so that is where the numbers come from. But the main thing to take from the video, you can see where I'm getting the numbers and use some of that stuff to try to figure out ways to get your stuff up. But the main thing is the strategy here is to go after the elite targets in your grinding, get your scavenging up, get your XP skill up, get you some heals, some heal dots coming in from different ways so you can keep a low HP and try to get your DPS as high as you can get it. Focus on elite damage, headshot damage, crit chance, enemy elite armor, and focus on those things, and you will crush grinding, man. Crush grinding and far increase your loot drops, your rare drops, your XP gained, your dark zone funds that you're gaining. I'm getting, when I'm running around right now, I'm getting almost 300 points of XP per kill. It's a great build. I am killing things extremely fast. My group follows me around, and I just run through it all. Like, I just balls to the wall, throw a med pack down, run into a mob of dudes, stick my gun in their head, blow their brains out with ridiculous crits, and move on to the next target while my health is regenerating. Kill dudes, throw an ammo pack down, reload keep my ammo in there. You can kind of see where it's all going. And that is what was going on in that video, and that is that's the idea with the build. Let me know what you guys think about all these things. Let me know if you have any suggestions or things that you guys are going to take from this video and use in other things. Leave some comments. Definitely have some feedback. I hope you liked the way I did the video. I'm trying to keep it short, but it's really hard to do with character build videos. But as again I said, there's going to be a lot of information and a lot of good things, and I think that this is an excellent build. This is an excellent way this is an excellent foundation to build your grind character on, to have a grind build. I crush in the Dark Zone right now as far as like leveling and grinding and getting XP and stuff. It's nuts. So I hope you guys get some use out of this and enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys next time I upload a video. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and check out my live streams. Gonna be setting up a schedule for that soon, and we'll talk to you guys next time I talk to you.